Well, hello. This is Rosa, RCG Creations. How are you doing today? Welcome, friends. How's it going? We're making today, let me move you over just a tad. We're going to be making homemade flour tortillas, but I'm going to be using a tortilla press instead of rolling them out. This is one that I got from TEMU, and I learned this from my mom many years ago. It's been at least a good 35 years since I made homemade flour tortillas. Crisco with butter. Not all the time, but every once in a while. She liked to make them with butter instead of just regular Crisco lard because it gave an extra added flavor. And I'm just doing it just because it's something different. So in the recipe, I'll put it in the description box. I've got my flour, baking soda, salt. And now I'm just going to incorporate the whole thing, and I'm going to be using my hands because my hands are going to get dirty anyway. So it won't take very long to incorporate all this together. But it's always to your advantage for a better ingredient when it's cooked, baked, or whatever you're doing, to incorporate all the dry items first before you put any wet items inside. Okay? And I'm just going to stir it up. It's not going to take very long. And then I'm just going to crumble, because sometimes the baking powder can crumble on you. The baking powder can crumble on you. Or sometimes the salt. Just depends on the humidity in your area where you're at. Here in South Texas, we're pretty humid because we're so close to the coast. Okay, I think I'm just about done. Now I'm going to add I've doubled the recipe because I'm making enough so we can have some for later, and also to make some enchiladas with. Okay, it calls for 1/3 cup of oil of your choice. Mom tried it with oil, but she prefers lard. And back in the day, that's all she only bought Crisco. She would buy anything else, not even that cheapy off-brand or any other brand. Didn't matter. She only stuck with Crisco. So it worked for her. I was raised on it. I've always enjoyed every one of them, so I'm going to stick with her recipe. And after you make these a few times, it's totally fine to, if you want to, for the dough. You can actually freeze the dough. I wouldn't freeze it for more than 3 months. So make sure you use it up. And then all you got to do is thaw them out, and once they're thawed, just roll them or press them in a tortilla press, however you're going to do it. And then put them on your pan to cook. And we're going to take you that part in just a few minutes when we get to that section. Now we just want to incorporate the butter with the flour. Just want to mix it all up. You see what I'm doing? I'm mixing it all up. So there's my butter. It's not really butter, it's Crisco. Crisco butter. Okay, so we just want to incorporate all that and get it in there as much as possible. You want it to get all the little pieces all over the flour. Because what you want is this Crisco in every single tortilla, so it's got to be pretty well mixed up. Okay. And I'm going to stop the video here and there when it gets a little too long, because I'm really hoping I get to stay within my personal time frame of 15 minutes from beginning to end and stuff. So I'm just making sure that the butter, all the butter, and I'm moving it in between my fingers because I want to make sure that the flour, baking powder, and the salt all incorporate with the Crisco butter flavored Crisco is what I'm using, and that's a form of a lard. Okay, for those of you who are lucky enough to make your own lard, it's definitely great for you to do that, but I don't do that. I'm kind of wanting to learn, but I'm not there yet because number one, I don't have the place or the storage to store a lot of lard. And to make it worth it, because it's not really hard, it's just a lot of work and it's time consuming. I'm learning as I'm learning how to cook and bake from scratch. Some things are okay to be store-bought as long as I can financially afford it. But what I want to learn, and my recipe books are getting bigger and bigger. I want to be able to make from scratch. I want to try it at least once. So this way, if something were to happen and I needed to make it from scratch, I could. And I've already tried it once. Because like a lot of recipes, you try it, you follow it to the T, but you don't like it for some reason, or something in it, and it's like, oh, something didn't work out, something didn't happen, who knows. When it comes to baking and cooking, there's all kinds of things. So I handwrite on my recipe, because I print mine, even when I have my old handed-down recipes, I print them, put them in a sheet protector, and then I just handwrite on there what I needed, what I've tweaked on there, or what I want to tweak the next time I make it. And then once I've decided what I want to keep, then I'll redo the whole thing over and keep the recipe of what I really enjoyed or what me and hubby both enjoyed about it. Because like some doughs, pastries or doughs, you want to add a little bit of sugar. A lot of them don't have sugar, but it's only like 1/4 cup of sugar, depending on how much you're making. But it really that's just enough that makes a big difference in enjoying whatever it is that you're making. So you do a little tweaking here and there. Keep track of it by the measurements of what you did, measurements or ounces, whatever you did. And you see how I'm getting little crumbs and stuff? Let me bring this up. See that? And so it's all, the Crisco's all incorporated in there. So I wasn't talking just to be talking. I was talking to be talking and mixing up my stuff. So I'm doing two things at the same time. Woohoo! And unfortunately, I've already made a little bit of a mess, but it's not a big mess, but it's a little bit of a mess. And this is definitely a project you want to wear your apron on, because it will get messy. But anytime you're dealing with flour, it does tend to get messy. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm pretty darn good. Now this is what Mom said. You get as hot of a water as your hands can handle. And I got really hot tap water. It asks for 1 cup, so I'm going to do the 2 cups. I'm not going to pour it all in. You're going to do a little bit at a time, and then you're going to mix it in until you get your dough. And Mother said something about the hot water had something to do with the binding. So when you're rolling them out, now she always rolled them. She didn't have a tortilla press. She rolled her flour and corn tortillas, but then she made her flour and corn tortillas from scratch. And she said something about the hot water, if you get it as hot as your hands can handle, almost boiling if you can handle that. I can't handle that. I'm a weak skid because I'm new to this baking stuff. Mother was raised and she learned to cook and bake since she was a little girl, like 10, 11 years old. Or a baby even sooner than that. So her and her 5 sisters all learned to cook. My grandma made sure that they all knew how to cook from scratch. Because back then, that's all you had. As they got older, of course, there was store-bought stuff, but only the pretty well and financially stable people were able to afford to do stuff like that. Okay, so definitely need some more water. You're going to see it because it wants to bind. You want it to bind. So when you roll it into a dough ball, you're going to roll it into a ball, it's going to all stick together. And it's not all sticking together yet. And don't be worried if you have to add a little bit more water. Then just go grab more water if you need it, but make sure it's as hot as you can handle. And grab some more. Oh man, I just a big old spill. I did clean my table first before I got started to make sure everything was brand new, clean, sanitized. But I definitely need some more water. And don't forget, go all the way down to the middle of the bowl to make sure that all the flours, all the dry ingredients have become moist. And you want to incorporate all that in there. See, yeah, see it's starting to stick now? Let me get me a little bit more water here. I'm probably going to use all this water. I'm just going to use it all. Let's see if that's good enough. If you get it too wet, just add sprinkle a little flour in your dough and mix it up if you get it too wet. Because, you know, we're all learning. We're learning things as we go along. And like I said, it's been so long since I've made my own flour tortillas. Now, a lot of people like enchiladas with corn tortillas. I prefer corn tortillas. Some people like them with flour tortillas. But the enchiladas that I'm going to make, this is going to be another video, but it's going to be used with these tortillas. We're not going to use a whole lot of enchilada sauce like I normally do when I make my corn tortillas. See, that was it. That was all the water it needed. And I'm pretty much... See how that's pretty much into a ball? Okay, so let me move all this. I need that to put over the dough. Once I roll them up into the little patties, the little balls, to get ready. You want to put a towel so it doesn't dry up over the bowl, because you're going to roll or flatten one tortilla at a time. And I'm just mixing it to make sure. And you see how the flour's not sticking to me? That means it's got a good mix. You want to knead it until it all comes out good and nothing's sticking to you, nothing's sticking to the bowl. But because I doubled the recipe, my arms are getting tired. Well, my right arm is, on my left. And stuff. So... And if you have a vacuum sealer, I'll show you when I get to that phase, but what you want to do is get your dough, and you know it's pretty much mixed as good as you can get it. And that really is. Look, see that? And look, it's not sticking to my hands. I don't have any dough, so that's a good dough. Nice and moist. Okay, then you want to pinch a little bit, depending on how big or how small you want your dough. Oh, let me get all this off my hand. I'm just going to use that same dough that I have right here. I'm going to get all this excess dough off my hand. And you could just roll it like this if you're new, or if you're a seasoned one or want to learn. Mom would have her hand flat, and then she would put her fingers in here and cup it. And you see how that turned out? You see that? So that's one. Then she would just line them up on the bowl. I'm not going to do all this on camera. I'm just going to do a little bit just to show you. So you could do this, roll it all up. Then you want to lay your hand flat. Then you want to just roll it and turn it. Kind of want to make it like a little cup, without making a little cup, because you're squeezing these fingers into your palm and you're pressing at the same time. I don't know why, but Mom just said her grandma did it and her mother did it, so she does it. I don't know why. If anybody knows in the comments, please let me know. What significance does that have? I don't know if it has anything to do with it, or if it's just something that they just did. And I've watched tons of people do homemade flour tortillas, and everybody's different. They have their own methods, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to stop the video because this is going to be my fourth one, and I think everybody gets the gist of it. And if you see here, nothing sticking to my hands, no dough, so that means this is a really good mix. This is going to be making some good tortillas. And you see how that's a little bit bigger? That's okay. If some are bigger than the others, not a big deal. It's totally up to you. Then you would just lay your towel over this. Make sure it goes all the way around, because you don't want this to dry out. Okay? So I'm going to finish rolling all these doughs out, and then I'm going to bring you back when I get ready to put them on the tortilla press, and we're going to press a few. Then we're going to put them on, I don't have a cast iron long skillet thing, but I do have a Teflon one that does the two burner ones, and I'm going to do that to save myself on time so I can go ahead and cook twice as much at one time. They call it Kamal, I think is how you call it. I know I should know, but I don't. And that gives, you want something that gives you a good even heat. Okay? So we'll bring you back when we're going to the next phase, okay? Okay, we are back. And I wanted to show you, when you roll up all your little doughs, oops, gotta turn my camera around so I can see what I'm doing. When you roll it up, you just want to lay it up in little stacks. Oh. Today's a cold day, and it's a bad day for me to eat. I personally like to do 2 different sizes, because sometimes you just want a little bit of a tortilla. You don't want a regular size, but you can make them any size you want to. This is what's nice about when you do your own stuff. So when you get one out, I need that. Make sure the whole thing is totally enclosed, because you want to make sure the air doesn't get to it and dry it out. I'm getting a piece of parchment on the bottom, my tortilla. Oop. I don't think you can see me there. Let me back this up a little bit. There you go. Okay, then I'm going to put another piece of parchment. And I'm going to put my press over. Oh, I think I did it backwards. Yep, this goes over here on this side. There you go, yeah. And then you're going to press down on it. And you just push down on it. I'm going to move this over here out of the way so you can see everything. There. And ta-da! Look how thin those tortillas are. If you want to, you want a little bit thinner, just move it around. Put this back in here. And press down on it. Look at that. All the way around. Now I'm going to take you over. Sorry for the reach there, but I'm taking you over to my stove. Let me turn my burner on. This is my there's a name for this thing. If I remember, I'll put it in the description pop-up. I'll do a pop-up box. I'm going to put it on high so all this gets hot. Then I'm going to turn that down. Then you're just going to put it on here. It's going to start to bubble. You just want to get it toasty, however toasty you want to do it. You get an extra a plate. Get a clean cloth. And you lay it on your plate, half like this. Then you're going to stack, every time one's ready, you're going to stick it in here, and then you're going to cover it up. And you want the whole thing to be covered, because you don't want it to dry out. Plus the moisture of the heat is going to keep the tortillas moisture, so they don't dry out on you. So I'm going to go back, do some more pressing, and we're going to bring you back. Well, actually, let me bring you 1 more to 2 more, because that's still got to get hot. Okay. You didn't realize it was this far back. Okay. Let me get back over here. So there's my, put the tortilla in the center, a piece of wax paper, my cover, and press. Just going to do the same thing there. And I'm going to just turn it around. And you can definitely feel as you're pressing that it's getting squished. I can't show it to you, but you can definitely feel it. And there you go. Look how nice and thin those are. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing these until they're done. And they start to bubble. And we'll bring you back when we get ready to do the taste test. Okay, we are almost practically done. These are the last ones cooking. I haven't got a head count yet, but I'll look at the video where it shows when I showed you the whole thing. And here is one tray. And I did some that are really kind of thick, and some that are kind of thin. See that? See this? Let me put these two. Oh, they're hot, they're hot, they're hot, they're hot. Okay, see that thickness on that one? Let me put those together. You see that? And don't forget, put your towel and make sure it always on all three sides stay moist, because you want the moisture from the heat keeps the moisture on the tortillas so they don't dry out on you. You see this one right here? Let me show you. I'll bring you up close. See how it's starting to puff up right there? Let me flip it for you. Ah. If I was a real person, a true tortilla maker, I'd be using my hands, but I'm a chicken. See how it puffed up? You will get that from time to time. Not all of them, some of them, whatever. It just varies. But that's okay. And then I just squish it down. Mom would just do it with her hand and flap it, and I was like, oh, I can't handle that. No, 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 no. I tried it the first two, the second one, it's like, uh-oh, no, 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 no. You see how it puffed up just a little bit there? You see that right there? You see how I'm pushing down? Ooh, that's hot. And then see how they're golden? I don't want to flip it too much because I don't want to drop it. But I'm one of these people. 3-second rule if you drop it, because my floor is not filthy dirty. It's dirty, but it's not filthy dirty. And I like to make them in different sizes, because sometimes you just want a small one, you don't want a big one, and sometimes you want a big one. Now, if you're going to make some burritos, you definitely want to make them really twice as big as these, so you can roll them all out and roll them. I'm going to turn my burners off. And then we're going to do the taste test. And we're having breakfast for dinner, because I've been wanting to make homemade tortillas. See that? See the other side? I'm trying to get out of the glare and the shine. One of these days I'll get better lighting, but I'm not there yet. Okay. Oh, I just dropped it. Oh, oh, that's hot. Oh, that's hot. That's turned off. I got my I'm making some refried beans from dehydrated refried beans. Put them in there. Put them in a pot of water. I got just enough water in there. They're not overloaded, but there's just enough to soak in all the water. Then when they're done, it's about 15-20 minutes is all that takes. And when you're done with that, I like to add a little bit of oil. And see that? Whoops. And then I'm going to mix it all up. See that? And I just made myself some refried beans from dehydrated refried beans. And you can make your own. You can buy the store-bought kind, or you can do your own. Because they do sell the dehydrated refried beans. They're like little flakes. Or you can cook your own beans. Like if you make a pot of beans and you have leftovers, put the beans, drain the juice, and put them on your dehydrator. Dehydrate them, then put them in a sealed mason jar, and they can last a good 15-25 years, not a problem. I've got this on very low heat. Let me turn it down to even lower, because we're going to do the taste test now. But I want to show you how much we ended up making. Let me move everything around. And then I'll be able to finish. All I gotta do is scramble some eggs. Hubby already made some bacon because these are fantastic to make breakfast taquitos. Okay, so here is one set. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 here. Man, they smell so good. Homemade tortillas, can't beat that. 10, 11, 12, ow, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 4, about 25. Now, I cheated and I did eat one. Hubby had, ouch, 2. Oh, hot, 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 hot. So, I'll put that on there because it's hot. If you just have a little bit of a munchie and you don't want to have a whole lot, or you want just a little snack, get you a tortilla. If you cook, once these are totally cold, I mean totally room temperature cool, I personally, this is just me, lay a tortilla, put a piece of wax paper, lay another tortilla, another piece of wax paper, so they're individually wrapped, and I put the whole thing in a gallon Ziploc baggie, and then I label the baggie, cooked tortillas. So as I want a snack, or I want to make an early breakfast, or I'm running late and I need something quick and easy, take out my little tortilla because it's already cooked, and stick it in there with some cooked bacon, cooked sausage, scramble me up an egg, or make an over easy egg, how you want to do it. And you've made breakfast. I put everything in a container and you're all set and you're done. Make a burrito, make a tostada, make enchiladas. The recipes are endless. Or you want a sweet dessert without a whole lot of calories and a whole lot of work? Get yourself some jam or some jelly. Put that on top of this. And you eating it. That is a nice little dessert. Is it on the Weight by Weight program? No. But if you cheat once in a while, it's okay. So let's do the taste test now, okay? I already know these are due thumbs up because number one, it's my mama's actually great grandma's recipe. Mama gave it to me. I printed it, saved it, and I lost it. But I had it in one of my computer programs. And I was just skimming around recipes and stuff to get different recipes, and I found one that has the exact same ingredients that Mama's made. So that's what I saved, and that's what I'm using. But all the recipe will be in the description box. This is a win-win on homemade flour tortillas. And the only reason I have so many is because I did a double batch, because I'm going to be making 2 meals, actually 3 meals, tonight's dinner. And then we're going to have breakfast tomorrow morning. And then we're going to have dinner because we're going to turn these into enchiladas. We're going to bake in a casserole for tomorrow's dinner. So 3 meals out of one time batching, cooking, and from beginning to end, I would say it took me about 45 minutes just to put the dough, put it all together, round it up, make them and roll them up into little balls, put it through the tortilla press. Cooking, I would say about 45 minutes from beginning to end. But because I did a double batch, it took me even longer because I made twice as many. But do yourself a big favor. When you're making something, double it or triple it, and then package it up, put it in the freezer, label your freezer bag or your freezer container, casserole dish, whatever it is you're doing. And you've got 2 or 3 meals for another day. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.